Welcome to Historically Black Sense News, where we honor the legacy, highlight the culture, and celebrate the excellence of HBCUs, one story at a time. I'm Deuce Tucker, a proud Florida A&M University alum.
And I am Eddie Niel, your three-time state pageant queen, filling in for Heaven here to bring you the real, the raw, and the reason why HBCU life is unlike anything else. From yard talk to alumni achievements, where we've got the stories that moves the culture forward.
Tonight is a special edition. We have Eddie Niel here with us, so I'm excited. I hope y'all are too. Let us know in the comments where you're from and what HBCU you're repping.
You know, I got to represent as a proud student of the AUC, the Atlanta University Center, home to the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, to Spelman, Morehouse, and Morris Brown. But let's get into tonight's news. First, we have big news out of Nashville. Tennessee State University is proud to welcome the new head basketball coach.
That's right. TSU just named Nolan Smith. Yes, the former NBA player and Duke basketball legend as their new head men's basketball coach.
Smith isn't new to coaching. Most recently, he served as an assistant under Penny Hardaway at the University of Memphis. And now he's stepping in as a new head coach role, ready to take TSU a force on and off the court.
In a statement on the TSU Tigers website, Smith said, "It's an honor and a privilege to be named head coach at TSU. I'm ready to give my heart and energy to our players every single day as we prepare to win and proudly represent the university and the state. I'm built for this challenge, and TSU is built to win. So let's win. Go Tigers, go."
With a resume like his and a mindset like that, the Tigers just might be entering a new era.
Absolutely. And it's great to see how HBCUs have award-winning coaches. And I know y'all heard about my man down here in the ATL, Michael Vick, as the new head coach at NSU. And last year, he hosted the MEAC girls on the gridiron at Norfolk State University.
Yes, and this week, the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference recently wrapped up the clinic for its third consecutive year on Sunday, July 20th, at Hughes Stadium on the campus of Morgan State University in Baltimore.
I love
Super
that.
cool.
Absolutely.
Excites me. It's unbelievable, and I am really proud of the fact that this sport is growing amongst girls and women, and the opportunities are growing for girls in sports.
Uh-oh.
Is a space that has demonstrated time and time again that it cares about the community where we exist in the different schools. And as long as the MEAC is going to continue to be supportive of communities and seeing people thrive, again, we want to be a part of that as well.
I love that. I love that.
So
Let's
cool.
see. We can see Eddie Niel on that field knocking some heads out.
Not playing football.
I got you. But in the collaboration with the NFL, Wells Fargo, and Morgan State University Athletics, Girls on the Gridiron served as the official kickoff to the 2025 MEAC Football Media Day schedule.
The free clinics brought women together in a fun and inclusive environment to learn the fundamentals of flag football, led by MEAC student athletes and coaches at a series of skill stations and drills.
But it's more than just football. The event was all about empowerment. It reflected the MEAC's ongoing commitment to community engagement and growing the game at every level.
Mm-hmm. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference brought the energy and the excellence to Baltimore for its 2025 Football Media Day, held at none other than M&T Bank Stadium, home of the NFL Baltimore Ravens.
And today, The stadium set the stage to celebrate MEAC's rich football legacy, spotlight its standout student athletes, and hear from the powerful voices of each head coach ahead of the new season.
Social media lit up with the behind the scene clips, media interviews, and content. Impressive.
I like that. I like that. Okay, that's a strong presence from our HBCU coaches. And now, all eyes are turning to next month on Saturday, August 23rd, when the 2025 MEAC football season officially kicks off with the annual MEAC/SWAC Challenge.
North Carolina Central takes on Southern University at the Center Park Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. And you can catch all of the action live on ABC at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The countdown is on. HBCU football is back and bigger than ever before.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Ooh, now the best to me personally, the best conference. Who is SWAC, baby? It's just something how we just move and operate. So
Right,
Eddie, I want to ask you a question. Who do you think is going to have the best season football wise?
Honestly, I would say this is definitely a tough one, but maybe I'm thinking leaning more towards North Carolina Central, just because they have like a pretty consistent track record. And then, of course, maybe Florida A&M, just because of their recent celebration at the bowl win. And then, as you know, I'm always rooting for the AUC fam, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse. Don't sleep on them.
They've been sleeping on themselves, but I'm
my
gonna leave it there.
goodness.
Look at that
Honestly,
reference.
I truly feel like HBCU football is anybody's game, and that's what makes it so fun and intriguing to watch every year.
No, absolutely. I like that. That's a valid opinion. I'm not mad. I respect that. Okay. Now, everyone, let us know in the comments who you think will be dominating the HBCU football season. Also, did you hear that there's a way to customize your college 2026 NCAA football team?
I did. Let's take a look. Next Gen Concepts created this tutorial for us.
HBCU teams in college football 26. Go to the Create and Share tab and select Download Center. From here, initiate a search. Go to username and type in HBCU-NIZ. This should bring up all of the HBCU teams. If you don't see your school listed, try doing a keyword search and typing in your school's name. It should appear.
Yo, that is lit. That's
That
really
is
cool.
That is so cool. Seeing HBCU get recognition, so cool.
Oh yeah.
Big news recently came out of Texas as Fix University alumni, music executive, and entrepreneur Dr. Matthews Knowles, yes, the father of the global icon Beyonce, announced his new academic venture.
That's right. Dr. Knowles has taken on the role of presidential executive in residence at Prairie View A&M University, kicking off in fall 2025 through spring of 2026.
During this time on campus, he'll be teaching entrepreneurial master classes focused on economics, independence, and building generational wealth.
Absolutely. In his announcements, Dr. Knowles' words shared, "I'm proud to be working with Prairie View A&M University. There's an opportunity for us all to inspire the next generation, to take their economic prosperity into their own hands and understand how entrepreneurship can change their lives and their family lives for generations."
And we know PVAMU students will be taking notes. From business to branding, Dr. Knowles is bringing gems all year round.
Absolutely. Shout out to Dr. Knowles. That's absolutely incredible.
I
So,
know.
but I want to give a major shout out to Spelman College alumna Tati Gabrielle, who's making big moves on the big screen.
Tati is starring as Jade in the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 movie. And if her past roles are any indication, we're in for a performance.
Absolutely. She started acting young and has already built a powerful resume, working with networks like Netflix, CW, HBO, and Disney Channel.
Her credits include the 100 on the CW, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and You on Netflix, The Owl House on Disney Channel, and most recently, The Last of Us on HBCU, just to name a few.
Oh, and let's not forget, she graduated high school with a what? 3.7 GPA. Then went on to major in drama and French at the illustrious Spelman College.
Her journey is a powerful reminder that the HBCUs produce top-tier talent, especially in the arts. From actors and filmmakers to dancers, writers, and producers, our schools are shaping the future of entertainment.
She was ready to say AUC, y'all, wasn't she? So whether you're center stage or behind the scenes, remember, there's power in your story. And HBCUs are the perfect place to sharpen your craft, tell your truth, and always to shine.
There's so much power in our stories. And y'all already know that when it's time to drop some HBCU fun fact, I am your girl. And this week, we're shifting from the marching band to the battle royale. Because believe it or not, HBCUs are out here running the game consoles too. Let's talk gaming, not just Madden in the dorms, but national esport leagues, full scholarships, Twitch deals, and digital domination. Picture this, a team of HBCU college students, headsets on, controllers ready, representing their schools on a national stage in Fortnite, Overwatch, and NBA 2K. That's the energy behind HBCU Esports League, created in partnership with CXmunity and Twitch. It's a growing initiative that blends STEM, sports, and strategy, all while offering students real competition, national recognition, and educational access in a billion-dollar industry. Here's a clip. Or we can. Colleges like Johnson C. Smith, North Carolina A&T, Southern University, and Howard University, and many others are now hosting official teams, streaming matches live on Twitch, and turning their student players into rising digital stars. This isn't just about gaming, it's tech, teamwork, and visibility. In a world where Black creators and players often get overlooked in esports and tech spaces, HBCUs are leveling the playing field, literally. We're not just helping students play the game, they're teaching them how to design games, market them, and build careers from them. And that is huge. Here's a fun fact within the fun fact. The HBCU Esports League, backed by CXmunity and Twitch, are now awarding over $1.3 million in scholarships and resources. They've also built direct pipelines into gaming and media careers through the internships and partnerships with major companies in the industry. And the momentum has been never seen before. Something truly inside the history books. For the next time you see your little cousin is locked into a Call of Duty game or glued to Roblox, don't be so quick to unplug the Wi-Fi. That might just turn into a scholarship, a career, a championship banner with their name on it. Tag your favorite HBCU gamer or esports squad. Let's show some love to the schools and the students making big plays in digital spaces and building real futures in tech, all while repping Black excellence. They're also building direct pipelines to gaming and media careers through internships, partnerships with major companies and the industry, and the momentum is growing. The HBCU Game Jam is also gaining national attention with recent wins from North Carolina A&T and Alabama A&M, showcasing their skills in coding, design, and storytelling. HBCUs has always been the forefront and the front line of innovation, and now we're claiming our space in gaming too. From the field to the screen, from the classrooms to streams, from the stage to the controller, we now keep showing up and showing out for ourselves. That's your HBCU fun fact for the day. your historically Black sense. Sending you back to Deuce. Keep shining, keep playing, and I'll see you guys next time for your next HBCU fun fact.
Eddie Nayel. Oh, you just inspired me in regards to that story because I know so many young kings and a couple of young queens who just love the game in regards of, just a hobby or just a habit or something to do for fun.
Right.
And for them to actually create something that will allow them to exhibit and contribute that type of energy into something that they actually love and that can create a career, more money, and more opportunity for them to go to college. That's a beautiful thing. $1.3 million scholarships.
I know, crazy.
Come on now, that's a blessing. So that's what's up. I appreciate you sharing that fact with us. That brings us to tonight's interview segment. We have some very special guests, and I want to introduce you all to our wonderful host, Mr. Shemai Cook. Shemai, what's going on, bro?
Good evening, Deuce. Good evening, Eddie. I need some of that money. How much? Over $1 million? My God.
And scholarships and supplies. That's so crazy.
I need some of that money to make it rain. But we digress. First of all, Deuce, I love the lapels today. I love the suit. And you look nice too, Eddie, but I just wanted to make sure I recognize Deuce looking sharp today.
I appreciate it, brother. That's love, man. I like that tie with you on, man.
Thank you so much. Our first guest tonight is a proud graduate of Virginia State University and the founder of JRP Productions, LLC, which is a social media and content creation business. Please welcome Jasmine Pierce to the show. Hello, Jasmine.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming on. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, no problem. Like I said in your intro, you are a proud Virginia State alumni. You got your bachelor's degree in marketing from VSU in this past spring semester. You just graduated. Talk about how are you feeling and what does it feel like to be a VSU alumni?
I'm so proud to be a Virginia State alumni because it's such a great school and it's a great community, and they've really prepared me to go out in the world and showcase who I am and be myself.
Now, you currently work as a marketing associate in the Career Foundations program at Smithfield's Food. Talk about your work there.
Well, I just started a couple weeks ago, and it's really an interactive process trying to show me, being a college graduate, how to build my skills in order to become the leader I want to be. I have big goals, big dreams of becoming a big marketing executive. So this program really shows me the foundation, the skills for me to get there.
Now, what made you want to get into marketing and choose that as a career path for you?
Well, the reason why I picked marketing is because I always loved that movie with Eddie Murphy called Daddy Daycare. And he was a marketing person on that movie. And I was like, what he doing? I want to do that too. So ever since I was a little girl, I saw that movie and I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. And I just picked up the skills, picked up the internships, and now I'm here today.
Now, you also served as the president of the American Marketing Association at your chapter at VSU. Talk about that organization and how can it benefit college students.
So the American Marketing Association is an organization dedicated to student marketers who want to expand their professional network and gain resume skills. I was the president, so I helped us create different events around campus. I helped donate clothes from we have a business closet at Virginia State, and it helps prepare students in order to have those business clothes, to step into those interviews, to step into those internships professionally. Also, we do networking tips, and they have this opportunity to go to a conference in New Orleans and represent Virginia State on a national and international level. So The organization really pushes the students out into those spaces to be recognized for who they are.
Why are those type of initiatives so important for college students?
It's important because exposure is key. If you've never seen that place before, a lot of times people be like, oh, I can't do that. But having these opportunities, going to the HBCU shows you, okay, if she did it, I can do it too. If I see these big companies, if I see these big executives, I can be in that same space. And seeing those throughout my college career really inspired me, because every day I was like, yes, I can. If she can do it, I can do it too. And these opportunities really shaped me who I am today.
Now you are an entrepreneur as well. Like I said in the intro, you founded JRP Productions LLC, which is a
Yes.
social media and content creation business that helps small businesses and events elevate their brand through creative storytelling, videography, and media strategy, marketing strategy. What made you want to create this, and did your experience at VSU help you pursue this passion?
Yes, because I started it like unofficially when I was in high school. When my
Mhm.
friend, she asked me to create a college announcement graphic for her, and I was like, I could put something together. But over time, I was doing the side hustle. But actually, at Virginia State, they had this pitch competition with a women's group, and it actually pushed me, and they gave me the skills in order to actually push out my business, get my LLC, set up my budgets, and actually make it official business. So my HBCU really pushed me to become an entrepreneur. They have an entrepreneur center at the College of Business. So they give you the skills in order to be successful. Also, HBCUs, they have so many businesses as well. So I was inspired about the community because some people are hairdressers, hair braiders,
Yeah.
barbers, t-shirt owners. So just surrounding myself with those people and those entrepreneurs really pushed me.
Now you have had some great experience from different 500 corporate companies, Coca-Cola consolidated, and you worked in different other organizations. How has those experiences and internships help you to be where you are over there at Smithfield Foods?
As I mentioned before, a lot of times with exposure, I realized I can do that. And also, one of the things recruiters told me, they wanted to see students being involved in every organization every time they can see something. And so every summer since my freshman year, I was like, I'm going to get an internship no matter where it is. So some of my internships were small, some were bigger at Fortune 500 companies. But I just wanted that exposure and just being in that seat to show people, oh, I'm here and I'm ready to work. And my dream of becoming an executive is going to come true because I'm going to put the work in.
Now, what's next for JRP Productions LLC? What's next for you?
I want to grow into a full scale marketing agency. Right now I'm taking many clients, improving their sales on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'm really having fun with it. It's my creative outlet outside of my day job. So I'm really having fun and I'm excited to take it up a notch.
Well, thank you so much. Best of luck to you. Make sure you guys check out Jasmine Pierce. Wherever, how can people get in contact with you, and so you can get some business traffic to your way?
So you can follow me at JRP Productions _ on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And also my Instagram is Jazzy Renee _ on Instagram.
Thank you so much, Jasmine Pierce, for
Thank
coming on
you.
Productions. Thank you so much. Our next guest is an actor who has made appearances on TV shows such as Chicago PD and can be seen on numerous commercials from companies such as Drive Time and Foot Locker. His most recent project is a fan proof of concept based on the hit Netflix show Forever, went viral, which he wrote, directed, and starred in. Please welcome Sean Roundtree Jr. to the show. Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming on. First of all, it's so ironic. I was literally watching every morning. I have a morning tradition where I watch the Today Show, and your commercial over at what is it called? It's
Drive Time.
Drive Time comes on every morning. Every morning. I was like, and I'm interviewing him today. I was like, wow. But first of all, thank you so much for coming on. And how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me, man. It's truly an honor. And let me just say that you all are doing an amazing job with this. Y'all are killing it. So keep it up.
Thank you. It takes a team, and we appreciate our team over here. First of all, you're an actor, but you started off as a hooper. From the St. Louis metropolitan area, and you landed a D1 basketball scholarship at Missouri State University. What was that like?
Man, I tell people all the time, like, I grew up an entertainer. So when I was younger, I was always like the young kid at the family reunions where your parents would be like, hey, go perform, go do that song, right? As I got older, continued to play sports, I was good at basketball. And so there was just conflict, time constraint. And so I ended up choosing basketball. It was really like a real life High School Musical type deal. You know what I mean? But right. So Ended up playing basketball, man. Got a full scholarship to Missouri State University. Transferred to Central Michigan University, where I finished out my collegiate career.
Now, and you played professionally in the country of Georgia.
Yes,
People
sir.
get that confused. What was that like playing overseas?
It was amazing, man. It was such an experience. It was scary at first trying to get adapted to a whole new culture. Some people didn't even speak English. And so simple things like going to find my mail, like going to find the mailbox, like that's a full day activity, you know what I mean? So but overall it was a great experience. During that time, this was right before 2020. So the end of 2019, leading into 2020. um, I just kind of felt that like basketball had ran its course,
Mhm.
which is okay. I had accomplished a lot already in that sport. And so I just went with my heart, and my heart was with getting back into entertainment, getting back on camera, and pursuing acting.
Yeah, after COVID, you went into acting. You have worked on shows like Chicago PD, and you worked with Academy Award winner Forrest Whitaker. What was
Yeah.
that like? Not in Chicago PD, but you have worked with Forrest Whitaker in your work of acting. What was
Yeah.
that like, and what have you learned from these different acting jobs?
Man, it was amazing. So I had a guest star role on the show Emperor of Ocean Park, which is with Forrest Whitaker, and my character, he played a pivotal part in Forrest's character, like his journey. So, um, really acting, face to face with him, I had to really stay focused because it's easy to just get distracted. Like, man, I'm working with Forrest Whitaker, you know, um, but true professional. Um, it was such a milestone for me, and a real good chance for me to say, hey, this is what I love to do. I knew I wanted to do this, and you know the feeling that I got after working with him and in that show was amazing. And that was also a great moment in my career because that was the first time that I had a chance to work with a crew for over a month span of time, which is really good. You're familiar, you're comfortable with people on set, so such a great experience.
Now, you recently got some praise from Mara Brock Akil, who created the hit Netflix show Forever, for your season 2 fan what if proof of concept of the
Mhm.
show, where you wrote, directed, and starred as a Omega Sci-Fi fraternity member at Howard.
Right.
And we posted it here on our social here at Historically Black Sense. It went viral
Yeah.
and got her attention. What made you want to make this proof of concept for the fans, and how did it feel to get praise from the show's creator?
Yeah. Well, the concept came from after watching the show. I loved the show Forever. I thought it was an amazing story about Black love, that didn't tell any type of story about trauma or difficulty in the Black community. And it was really done well, which is no surprise, man. We talking about Mara Brock Akil here, okay?
Mhm.
Um, but in my industry, you know, it can be a little sad sometimes when you're waiting for your agent or your manager to call, for the opportunity to audition. And so that could be a long wait sometimes. Um, but I wanted to take my creativity in my own hands. And this was a show that I could really see myself in this world. And so if you've seen the show Forever and you know how it
Yeah.
ends, you know that Keisha has to go to college and she's going at Howard. And so, hey, I'm a real member of Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporated. And so I use my creativity as the new love interest and put myself in that world. Um, for it to be received as great as it did meant the world. As a creator, you always second guess yourself sometimes, like, are people gonna like this, will they appreciate it? To see the reception was amazing, and I really have to thank you all for reposting it.
Yeah,
To get the reshare and the repost from Marbach Akil, it means everything because you never know who's watching. You never
exactly.
know. You never know. And so my thing was I wanted to write it, but I wanted to do it right and do it justice. because that's what the show deserves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the type of person I am. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna try to do it to the best of my ability. And so I was really appreciative of the Greek community showing so much love and so much love from the HBCU community, because the little nuances, the dialogue, things like that, they really got, they really understood. And so, it was just a way to show my creativity, and I'm blessed at the reception that it's gotten.
Now, listen, that's I think Forever is one of the best shows of the summer, hands down, and you did an excellent job, hands down. Okay,
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
can you talk about now with Forever being one of the best shows, and you talked about, it's not a traumatizing story about Black love or Black, young adults. Why are those type of stories so important when it comes to these type of shows that are on out to society? Why are these type of stories so important?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Representation matters, right? And
Yeah.
so when you talk about our youth watching and our community as a whole,
Yeah.
you know, we've dealt with a lot of trauma, generations of trauma. And
Mhm.
so it's always good to see people who look like you on screen, and it's not related to something racial or slavery or a lot of trauma, which are important stories to be told. But if that's all that we're watching, that's all we believe. We believe that we're only supposed to come through a struggle. And so I love that Forever, depicted a story of Black love, but also they didn't have to overcome something super traumatic for them to make this product. And that's very important when you talk about our industry and the Black community. I think representation like that is truly important.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. What's next for you? Are you going to make any other? Hopefully, you could join the writing staff with Mar Akil for season 2 of Forever. Netflix did announce season 2 is coming. No specific date, but did Mar
Mhm.
Akil give you a call, or did you give her a call, or are you trying to write for Forever season 2? Or
Whatever they need me to do, I will do. You understand me? When that season comes, hopefully I get that audition through my agent or my manager. So, you know, fingers crossed. Until then, man, I'm just steady auditioning for some great projects. Just been right there to booking some great things. I have some projects coming out. I just posted about this short film that I'm in. It's called The Girl in the Street. It's a short horror film. And so you can find that on my page. And then I also got some more projects. A series called Gonzo, which is an amazing story of another story about young Black people within, like, if you go back to 2005, like the Blockbuster era. And so it takes you to the world of like two young Black boys discovering like ways to do streaming before there was like YouTube or anything like that. And so they
Wow.
have this special code that high ups, corporations, they want a piece of it. And so they have to protect that code, right? And
Yeah.
so it's a bit nostalgic, but I think it's an amazing story that's going to be told for, not only the Black community, but in entertainment in general. So excited about that. But up until then, I'm just steady auditioning and steady giving back to my community.
Thank you so much, Sean Roundtree Jr. for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Our final guest tonight is not just a Morehouse alum, and he's not just a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. He is one of the youngest elected officials in the state of Texas and the first Black man to serve on the Rowlett, Texas City Council. Please welcome Councilman John P. Bowers III to the show.
Kamai, how are you?
How are you, Councilman?
I'm doing pretty well. It's not every day you get to be interviewed by the Shamai Cook on Historically Black Sense. I'm so excited to see you.
I think it's a pleasure. It's all ours. First of all, you, like I said in the intro, you are a proud Morehouse alum. and you were not just a regular old student. You were the 88th student body president. What was that like, and what was your experience like at the house, as they say?
Right. You gotta always show love to the Morehouse family, and once again to historically Black Sense and the family there. So I was actually interviewed by historically Black Sense when I was the 88th student body president of
Wow.
Morehouse College. So this is definitely a full circle moment. But to answer your question, and what was that like? I mean, I think our HBCUs are truly training grounds for whatever you want to do in life post the school, right? So as Morehouse at Morehouse, I was learning about student leadership. I'm learning about how we see students, right, in our housing issues or whether it be our financial aid issues. But once again, you're learning that issues are issues and people are people. So that was really how it was. I mean, it was truly a world-renowned experience to lead that many strong and independently minded young African American men, as well as our neighbors at Spelman and Clark Atlanta University. So I mean, if you asked me if I would do it again, I would do it again. And I had a great time being the 88th student body president of the school.
Now you got your master's from Southern Methodist University, Cox School of Business. What was that like getting your master's, your MBA?
So getting my MBA, it was definitely a hard experience. I mean, I think getting that extra level of education is always hard, but I feel like it's worth it for so many people that are in our community, and especially in the Black community, because there are so many things that having that extra degree will help you debunk and allow you to be seen as the ultimate candidate, which you already were. But I will say, SMU is completely different from Morehouse, where I came from, right? Like I feel like, that common thread of you find your friends forever in your undergraduate institution. Like truly my friends for the rest of my life, my best man in my future wedding will be from Morehouse, but also understanding that education and that extra level of business acumen from my MBA helped me in my campaign for city council, but it also helps me every day in my day job at JP Morgan. So definitely worth it.
Now you are a councilman. You went back to your hometown and of Rowlett, Texas, where you graduated high school to run for on the council, the city council. Why did you want to go back home to help your community? Why was it important to you?
I mean, I think there's stories in the Bible about it, just returning home and figuring out what lessons you've learned and how you can come back and make a difference. And I think it starts where you're from. And I think obviously thinking about the state of our country in 2025, if your home isn't right, you want to step up and you want to fix it. So I kind of looked at it in that light, in the fact that, hey, look, if there's anything that I want Rowlett to stand for, I want myself to be the representation of that. And that's why I came back home. And ultimately, I have been back home in the area since about 2020, since I graduated undergrad from Morehouse. During COVID time is a little different, but that's ultimately why I came back. Being here, seeing the environment, and really wanting to stand up and say, hey, our generation is ready now, not next, we're ready now, as well as, showing the world truly in the state of Texas and Rowlett and genuinely that HBCU alumni can make the decisions and lead our communities forward.
Now, Rowlett has experienced rapid growth in recent years, leading to an increase in both residential and commercial development. While this growth can be an economic benefit, it can also create some challenges such as strains on infrastructure, transportation networks, and public services. How are you, Mayor Jeff Weggett, and the rest of the city council planning to fix these issues?
So, Shemai, thank you for that question. We've already gone down some things. We had a recent budgetary meeting as far as where we're putting money, and we've talked a lot about infrastructure. Just understanding that, hey, some of these roads need to be widened. Right. Currently, right now, we're at 68,592 citizens, and projected over the next 3 years, we're gonna definitely looks like we're gonna get over that 100,000 citizen mark. So, with that being said, we're putting in more streets, widening streets where we need to, widening bridges, going back to that, also looking at how our walls around the community are looking. But you're exactly right. While it's economic benefit, it can also be a very, very uphill challenge when we look at the area of Dallas-Fort Worth being such a hotbed for people wanting to come here and work. So we're fortunate enough to be a community that people want to live. So we're looking at more residential, more infrastructure places, and more different things, more character pieces around the city to make sure that we're prepared.
Like many parts of Texas, Rowlett faces some challenges related to water quality and long-term water supply. What is the plans to ensure that Rowlett citizens have access to good quality water? What's the plan for the city council to do that?
Got you. So we are a benefit. We are a customer of our North Texas Water District. So we haven't had as many issues in the water area. But yes, we're looking at that. We're looking at trying to change our relationship with that district to, even help some of the burden on our citizens in the city, making hopefully their water bills a little cheaper if we can figure out how to do that. But we have great water supply. We currently sit outside of one of the Dallas area's biggest lakes. Lake Ray Hubbard is our neighboring body of water next to our city, which we use for recreational use, as well as some of that water is used. So we are in a great benefit to have a natural resource here for water, and also the filtering system with our neighboring city of Garland, Texas, that helps with filtration, and then also Rowlett Creek that is right there.
Now, you when you were elected, you said public service. This is a direct quote. You said public service is not about holding a title; it's about making a difference. Do you plan to make a difference in Rowlett, Texas?
So I think that Rowlett truly, Shemai, thank you for the question. I feel like the city itself and the area, and with being inside the state of Texas, is the essential place for future youth generation of investment from our youth and our age group now into politics. Because obviously, if the youth aren't invested, this city, the city, the state, and also the country can go in a direction that we really don't want it to, right? So within Rowlett, I think I've already been named. Granted, this is by way of the title, but I have been named the Youth Advisory Council City Council Liaison. So with that being said, I am the direct pinpoint for the youth of our city to be able to convene, meet, and also galvanize around different issues that we see fit in the city, but then also that bleeds into what are the issues that we care about in the world, right? So I think that's one thing, but also the organizing, the door knocking, those different things that you do for candidates. I was doing that way before I held an office or held a title. So those are the things that you can still do, and that's also me using the title to educate my citizenry, the younger people that follow. Like, hey, let's get out there and let's knock these doors for this cause, because if we don't, who will? So that's really what I think.
Why is it so important for you to get involved in civic engagement?
In general, I think it's really important for you to get involved in civic engagement, because the levels of government, and if I can educate for a second, Shemai, I will.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Your federal government, obviously, that's the president of the United States, the congressmen of the world, the senators and different things like that. They are creating laws for the whole country. You have your state legislatures. My mom is a state legislator, a state representative. She went to Spelman College and Texas Southern, by the way. But they are making laws for your state. But the reason it's so incredibly important to get civically engaged, especially at your local level, is because your local officials, city council, as well as mayors, are the ones in charge of your day-to-day life, whether that be property taxes, whether that be the different things you see around the street, whether that be parks and recreation. Those are the individuals that control what you do and feel each day. And that's why it's important that you're electing people that align with you. So like, okay, yeah, these are the things that I think about. This is how I would decide. So ultimately, your government is representative of how you feel and how you feel your life should be governed. So that's why it is innumerously important. Like, if you do not get civic engaged, if you do, just take that away from this interview with me and Shemai. Like, please make sure you look into, hey, who's on my city council? What are they talking about? Because at the end of the day, they are deciding what your local life looks like.
Like I stated earlier, you're the youngest elected official in the state of Texas and the first Black man to serve on the Rowlett City Council. What does that mean to you?
I truly feel that it's truly a blessing from God. I have to give God all the credit for that, because seeing it in my house, I saw history in my house as well. My mother was the first African-American person to be elected to State House 113 for the state of Texas. And then me following her and becoming the first Black man to be elected to Raleigh City Council. It is a weight, right? I mean, I walk into City Hall every day, and I feel like, shout out to my Morehouse brother, Martin Luther King Jr., I feel like I'm living out one of his dreams in a way. So I think that's truly what it feels like to me. It means obviously being a trailblazer and continuing to do the best job I can. So now when the next candidate that looks like me comes into place, there's not a question of if they can, but they know that they can win and they can serve. And they can serve in the city council because, the city of Rowlett is currently 72, 73 years old. And just for it to be that long and for it to not have seen a Black man be in representation, I'm happy I can knock down that barrier and also leave a legacy for the next people to follow me.
Well, we appreciate your time here on Historically Black Sense News. Councilman John P. Bowers III to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Shemai.
No problem. Deuce?
Brother, man, you did it again, Shemai. Hey, respect, man. We appreciate you. What a great discussion. And I'm always amazed at the stories that you were able to share, so appreciate you again, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, however, we just want to be able to actually just kind of convene and be able to just reflect on tonight's discussion. Eddie, how do you feel?
I truly enjoyed the interviews. They were so inspiring. I loved how each guest really spoke life over their journey, from like Jasmine Pierre's creative vision and like affirming her future goals was so cool to me, and Sean Roundtree's like passion for like artistry and innovation, and then of course John Browell's dreaming of leadership. Like, that's so cool. He really went from student leader to like a real leader, like a congressman. That's so insane to me. And like, I feel like just watching the interviews, and I also think Shemai did an amazing job of like conveying that, but I feel like you can truly feel the power of like the importance of having goals and manifestation and how that is important to your story. And and they really spoke about how they didn't speak so much about how they were now, but like their future, where they're headed, like executive actors, mayors. I thought that was really beautiful to see.
The work starts now. In college. It starts now.
Definitely. So before we close tonight, you all, let's not forget about our HBCU reflection question segment. It's almost time for moving in.
Tonight's reflection question is: what is the most important thing you feel a student should bring starting school in the fall?
I'll say something first. Common sense. Because you have to understand, when you're going out into a new environment, a new atmosphere, a new community, you have to keep your head on a swivel. You don't know these people from a can of paint. Literally, it could be somebody who wants the best for you. However, it also can be somebody who wants the total opposite. Someone who's looking out for themselves. However, we do know, as when you come to a historically Black college and university, that the purpose and the core values within that specific university and institution is family. However, everybody's not necessarily there for those specific reasons. Now, I've always heard this saying when my mom said, I was born at night, but not last night.
Not last night.
You come with that mindset too, because you never know what somebody's intentions are. So when it comes to your schooling, when it comes to extracurricular activities, you have to understand that, hey, you have to prioritize. You have to understand that, hey, you're here for a specific reason. This just takes number one priority, and everything else has to fall in line. So that all ties back into having common sense. You're going to college to graduate, not to just parlay.
They say common sense is not common, so that's a good point, Deuce. Eddie, what's your take?
I feel like the most important thing a student should bring to school, honestly, is confidence and like a clear vision. Like, you can forget a charger and survive, but if you forget who you are and what you came to school for and get like lost in the chaos, that can be really detrimental to your collegiate journey. I feel like, of course, bring your essentials, but you also need to bring your goals and your boundaries and the version of you that you're ready to evolve into.
Your why. Your why. That's a good point. I think one thing one thing haven't taught him that. That's what one thing students should bring to college this fall I would say something that if you're for speaking from an out of state student, I'm originally from Connecticut, and I went to now I go to college in North Carolina. So bring something that reminds you of home. So you won't get homesick. A lot of students do get homesick, and once they are in the new environment, so bring something that reminds you of home. So I have a painting of the Connecticut state logo in my dorm room, and it always reminds me that I'm just a boy from Connecticut doing what I love, and I'm here for a reason. So just have something that reminds you of home.
I agree.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, brother. All right. Okay.
I have one more question. How do you personalize your dorm space to make it feel home or homely per se? And what does independence mean to you now that you're on your own? You know what I mean?
Shoot,
Being
man.
at school.
Man, let me tell you something. Look, so my freshman year, I stayed in room 420, aka the penthouse. Shout out to my roommate from freshman year, Devin Lloyd. He was a drum major, for the Marching 100. Exuded nothing but great things. Engineering guy. Respect to my brother, Devin Lloyd. Respect. However, on the first day, basically we shared a room. It wasn't a individual cubicle. Literally, I was on one side, Dev was on the next. I called him D Lloyd. So D Lloyd was on the other side. And it's like, yo, I'm used to going to sleep and open my eyes and probably see the ceiling or seeing a portrait or seeing the television. I open my eyes and I see this guy. And I'm like, this is different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to this. So I had to figure out what would allow me to make my space comfortable. So I like the nice little retro space in regards of adding some lights. The LED lights was very famous back in my day. I'm telling you. Okay, we still got a little something. A couple of posters. Some nice Febreze within the room just to make sure things smell fresh. Absolutely. Make sure that my area is clean, even though we know it's college and sometimes you get a little hectic with classes and things of that nature. Just implementing the little things that make you feel at home, comfortable, and that you're evolving. You just don't want to have a complacent mindset in regards of you from high school. You thinking to yourself, hey, I got to make sure my cut is good because, I'm hitting the set on Friday. Set Friday is going on. It's going crazy. Or, hey, I have basically I'm reading my daily journal for me to be able to continuously have an upright spirit within myself in order for me to continue throughout my day. Or just being able to, I actually made a deal with myself, or I actually made myself approach just 2 to 3 different people every single day for the first 2 weeks, in regards to meeting a new associate, meeting a new classmate, just being able to build a bond so I can become a little more comfortable within this environment. Because I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, the east side, shout out to Decatur, Stone Mountain, all of that. I'm telling you. And the thing about that, it was hard for me to sometimes adjust just because I was the new kid on the block in a new different state, a new different city. And, you have all these people from Miami or Jacksonville. They're all these screamers, Duval, couldn't stand it, So I just had to learn how to adjust, find ways to allow me to become comfortable being uncomfortable and allow me to grow. So that's how I make my space my own, by communicating and finding new different ways for me to actually look forward to the next day, into the next week, into the next, goal.
I will say one thing. What's one important thing a student should bring something that represents you. So if you're a person that loves art, put some paintings up. If you're a person that loves music, so me personally, I love vinyl records. I collect vinyl records. I have a record player. So I brought my record player with me to college. All my records, I collect them. And when I just want to wind down and relax, I play a record. And that's just me. So that's just one thing I think students should bring, is something that represents them. And makes them take their mind and off of school for a moment and relax. I think that's one thing that's really important, because college is not all about work. It's not all about play. You need some work-life balance. So if you have that and create a make your room feel like you're at home. So, like I said earlier, bring like something that represents home, but bring something that makes you feel calm. So, and music makes me feel calm. So, I got my radio in the corner, and I got my vinyl over there as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the boy acting like from the '60s with the.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
What about you, Eddie? Diane?
When I first, because I'm coming from Las Vegas, I live in Vegas, and then I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in Vegas. So to me, it was truly a culture shock. Like, seriously, like I could not eat after 5 o'clock because everything was closed. Like I was calling my mom, talking about I'm so hungry, like nothing's open. And then
Noodles.
we're in the dorm, so we had limited like noodles, and then our calf would close. So I was like, it was just different for me not being able to like have certain luxuries of like, I guess you could say a 24-hour city, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, like stuff that made it feel home or home like was just making it feel like safe. Like I like fairy lights and having a flower wall and like soft bedding, just making my room feel like extra comfortable so that, you know, I can feel at ease and free and want to be in my dorm, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
as for independence, I would say being on your own per se, because I feel like it's not completely on your own because you're with people who are also on their own. You know what I mean? And you can definitely build like a sense of family with others. But I would say not just doing things by yourself, but learning how to take care of yourself and understanding what your piece is and what that means to you, and also holding yourself accountable. I had to
Yeah.
definitely learn that because there's no one there to, you have to get this done or you have to do this, or you know what I mean? Definitely it teaches accountability, self accountability. And then finding the joy in the process as well is definitely a journey, you know, journey of growth, self love, finding yourself, who you really are. I feel like that's all just in a nutshell of what college is, and it's definitely an experience.
No doubt.
And there you have it. There you have it. I think I love this discussion. It was a great discussion.
That was a great discussion. Well, I think that concludes tonight's show. Let's not forget our production staff for putting the show together. I am Eddie Niel.
I'm Shemai Cook.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Deuce Tucker. And this is Historically Black Sense News. And we will see you next week. Take care.
Bye.